Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today's video I'm sharing 4 fall friendly crock pot recipes. Crock pots are wonderful in the summer because they allow you to cook without heating up your kitchen, but they are even better in the fall because you can slow cook a good soup, curl up with a book or a movie, and let it do its thing all while making your house smell amazing. I also want to mention that today's video is in collaboration with my friend Stephanie over at Home Sweet Stephanie. She's going to be sharing some fall crockpot recipes with you as well, so make sure when you are done with my video to go check out hers. I'll have that down in the description box for you. You can get all of the crockpot inspiration today. Stephanie is one of my favorite people here on YouTube. She not only shares delicious recipes, but she also has that infectious personality that's just hard not to love. She has recently started posting vlogs as well, so make sure to check out her channel when you're done with mine and let her know that I sent you. And if you're coming from Stephanie's channel, I'm so glad you're here, and I hope that you will subscribe before you go. I like to post crockpot recipes and other lifestyle content, so if that interests you, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. So now hopping right into today's video, we are starting with one of my absolute favorites, shrimp Creole. So this is a really simple recipe. All you need is some bacon that's cooked and broken up into pieces. I left mine in rather large pieces. I would say that I have about 8 to 10 bacon strips here. I've got half of a yellow onion, and this is bell pepper that I pulled from the freezer, but it looks to be about half of a pepper. And then I have 64 ounces of original blend V8 juice, and then a 32 ounce bag of peeled, deveined, tail off raw shrimp. So I'm starting by pouring the entire bottle of V8 juice into my crock pot, and then we're going to add everything else but the shrimp. That will go in about the last hour of cook time. I also want to say that you can add a small can of tomato paste if you would like this to be thicker. It really just depends on your preference. I'm going to add a little salt and pepper and give it a stir. One hour from cook time, I added in my shrimp. If you like a lot of shrimp, go ahead and add the entire bag, but I used just over half of mine. When it was done, we served it over rice. Like I said, if you want it to be thicker, you can add a can of tomato paste. This is one of my all-time favorite recipes. All the flavors from the bacon, the bell pepper, the onion, the shrimp, and tomatoes, it just all marries together perfectly. Moving on to recipe number 2, I love to do potatoes and sausage together, but today I am going to add some cabbage, carrots, and chicken broth and make it into a soup. So you just need a head of cabbage, some russet potatoes. I used 10 because they were mini size. I'm not sure if it was because they were organic or what, but I've never seen russet potatoes so small in my life. You could also use red or gold potatoes. I pulled some pre-chopped celery from the freezer that I will throw in for some extra flavor, and then here I have some rope sausage. I mistakenly bought the roasted garlic chicken, but I would much rather have just plain smoked flavor. I'm going to put in a carrot and about a tablespoon of minced garlic, a bay leaf, and salt and pepper to taste. And not pictured, but you will also need 6 cups of chicken broth. I'm starting by cutting up my carrot and placing that into my crock pot, and I'll do the cabbage, potatoes, and sausage the same. going to pour in my chicken broth, add in my garlic, a little salt and pepper with my bay leaf, and then give everything a stir. The crock pot will be kind of full if you're using a 6-quart like me, but just remember that it's going to cook down a pretty good bit. So when the soup was all done, I removed the bay leaf, and that's all there was to this soup. This was okay, but if I make it again, I'm gonna make sure to use kielbasa or plain smoked sausage. I think the chicken flavor of this sausage was just throwing me off, but overall it was a nice and filling soup, and it was easy to make. Next up, I'm making a delicious 4-ingredient potato soup. It's so easy and absolutely delicious. So you just need 4 cups of chicken broth, a 2-pound bag of frozen hash browns. You want to make sure to get the cubed kind, a can of cream of chicken, and then 1 block of cream cheese. And also not required, but it does make the soup a bit better, is if you have some bacon and cheese for topping. So you just want to place everything in the crock pot, minus the cream cheese. That's going to go in later. I also want to tell you guys that I do have a recipe ebook launching hopefully soon, and this will be one of the recipes in the book. It's in the works, and hopefully we will get it launched in the next month or so. It'll have 10 of my favorite, most popular crockpot recipes, so I'm excited to get that out, so keep a lookout for that. "30 minutes prior to serving, you want to break your cream cheese up into smaller pieces and place it throughout the soup, and then just place the lid back on and let it finish out the 30 minutes or until the cream cheese has melted. So when you serve this, you can serve it as is, but I like to add bacon, shredded cheese, and green onion. However, we only had bacon, so that's how I served it. But like I said, this soup is absolutely delicious. It's also easy and affordable with minimal ingredients. The very last recipe, which isn't exactly a recipe, but more of a cooking method for spaghetti squash. We've made this in the oven before, but I wanted to try it in the crock pot and it came out perfect. So I love spaghetti squash. It's a good low carb option, and how I plan to serve it was actually just as good to me, if not better, than spaghetti pasta. So how I did it is I just placed the squash into my crock pot, and then I just took a knife and I went around the squash, poking just a few holes. I've got about 1 1/3 cup of water I'm going to pour in, and then I'm just going to place my lid on, let it cook on high for 5.5 hours, or you could do low for 7.5 to 8 hours. So right before it was done, I took and browned some ground beef, and once that's browned through, I plan to add in some pasta sauce. For my spaghetti squash, I cut the ends off, and then I just cut the squash in half so that I have 2 pieces. And now I'm just going to take a cookie scoop and scoop out the seeds. So now that I have removed the seeds, I'm going to take a fork and just fluff it. You can also take this time to add some salt and pepper. So this is some pasta sauce that I pulled from the freezer, but store-bought would work as well. I'm going to add that in with my ground beef and just let that heat through and get my oven preheating to 350. So then I took the meat sauce and placed a good amount on both pieces of squash, and then I'm gonna top it with some mozzarella, a little parsley, and bake them in the oven for about 10 minutes until the cheese is melted. So this is what it looked like when it came out of the oven. It was absolutely delicious, and like I said, also a healthier option than traditional pasta spaghetti. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to check out Stephanie's video in the description box and let her know that I sent you. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.